Hello, and welcome to another 3ABN Today cooking program. We're the Micheff sisters.
I'm Linda.
I'm Brenda.
And I'm Cinda. We're so glad you've joined us today because we have an incredible program for you today.
Yes, we do.
We have Sunday brunch.
That's right. I love brunch too because brunch is like a little bit of breakfast food, a little bit of lunch food, and I like the combination. And you can also slip in maybe on your Sunday morning and have get up and eat a little bit later.
Right. And you know what I love about it is because we sit together and you just relax. We're not in a hurry, and you just sit and visit and talk. I love it.
Go down memory lane, laugh at all the good times.
When we were kids, I really enjoyed it because Mom and Dad would be sleeping, we thought.
Yes.
And then we'd hear Mom start laughing, and Mom would call us and say, help, help me.
Help, yeah.
And so we'd all tumble out of bed, run in with Mom and Dad and jump on them and start tickling, and it was just a wrestling match, and we had so much fun and laughed and giggled. And then Mom would go make breakfast for us.
Well, actually, we all would go and help Mom make breakfast.
That's true.
That was the fun, too, because all of us were in the kitchen together, and it was just so fun. And even now, I know in my family, when David and Katie are home, my husband cooks also, and we'll all be in the kitchen together, and every one of us is cooking something, and then we sit down at the table together and eat it, and it's so fun.
It really is. And there's something for everyone, too. So brunch is usually different types of foods, not just one dish that's served. So I try to fix all my family's favorites. You know, I try to make sure that I've got something special for this one, this one, and this one. So when you come, everyone's going, oh, and they're all excited.
It's the moment.
That's right.
Well, speaking of all types of food, why don't we show them what we are going to be preparing for them today?
Oh, yes.
Because we do have a nice variety.
That's right.
We're going to start with my oatmeal apple pancakes with apple cider sauce.
Woo, that's good. And then my Mexicali breakfast pie. I can't wait to tell you what's in this. You're going to love it.
And then we're going to have some Hawaiian waffles.
Ooh.
And those look so good, too.
Ooh, and of course, we have to kick it up a little bit and have some Mexican griddle cakes.
Absolutely. And then a little taste of the South, fried green tomatoes.
And we're going to top it off with raspberry apple brunch cake.
Ooh, now
does that have your appetite wet right now so you're ready to get started? Just to let you know, you can just sit back and relax and enjoy the program. All the recipes that we're preparing today, don't worry about writing them all down. You can find them on the 3ABN website at just 3abn.org. And you can also find them on our Micheff Sisters website. Just go to micheffsisters.com, M-I-C-H-E-F-F. sisters.com, micheffsisters.com. We also have them there. And if you don't have the internet, then you can either call or write to 3ABN, and they'd be happy to send you the recipes.
All right. Having said that, let me read this first recipe for you. You will need 1 cup of quick or old-fashioned oats, 1 cup of whole wheat flour, 1/4 cup of powdered soy milk, 2 tablespoons of ground flaxseed, 3 tablespoons of toasted wheat germ, 2 tablespoons of dark brown sugar, and 1 teaspoon of baking soda, 1/2 teaspoon of salt, 2 tablespoons of cornstarch, 1/4 cup of unsweetened applesauce, and 2 cups of almond or soy milk. Now for the topping, you will need 2 cups of apple juice, 3 tablespoons of dark brown sugar, 4 tablespoons of cornstarch, 2 medium apples peeled, 1/4 teaspoon of ground nutmeg, 1/2 teaspoon of ground cinnamon, 2 tablespoons of vegan margarine.
Ooh. Now, I have a confession to make. I have tried this in the prep kitchen back there, and let me tell you, it is amazing.
Well, let's get started right away.
Okay.
Sis, if you can, we've already washed these apples, and you don't have to peel them.
Okay.
You can if you prefer, but I don't. And so core them, peel them, and, don't peel them, core them, and
slice them.
Slice them.
Got it.
And then Linda I'm going to get you started on
All right.
our topping. And then I'll make the pancakes. So hold on, I'm going to tell you how to make the pancakes, but I want this to get heated. So we're going to start with, put your 2 cups of apple juice in here.
All right.
And then quickly whisk in your cornstarch, because cornstarch should always be added to a cold liquid. And then just add your rest of your ingredients. And she's going to cook this until it thickens, okay? And then I'm going to get started here with the actual pancakes. We're going to start with our oats, and we're going to put their oats into a little food processor because we're going to make oat flour. And I like to do this with, and you can use quick oats or you can use the whole rolled oats. And we're just going to quickly blend this up until it gets like a flour. These pancakes are so healthy. They're filled with all kinds of good stuff. So we'll put the our oat flour in here. And see, it's not real fine, but just enough. And then add your flour. Now you can add, this is a white whole wheat flour, but you can add a regular whole wheat flour if you want. Perfect. Thank you, thank you. And you want to just put those in there for her. This is a powdered soy milk.
Thank you.
Welcome.
And then the cornstarch we're putting in instead of our eggs. The cornstarch will be a binder, which is what people use the eggs for. And we'll put in our salt and our whoops. Well, I really put the baking soda in there, didn't I? Brown sugar. And then I like to put ground flaxseed in there because flaxseed's so good for you. And I also like to put in the toasted wheat germ.
And your body digests it better when it's ground.
Right.
So.
And sis, for the sauce, do I keep stirring it or just let it cook?
Nope.
Nope,
You
what?
stir it.
I stir it. Okay.
Nope, but no.
I wasn't quite sure what that meant.
Well, you can rest until it starts to boil, and you'll see it start thickening.
And then I stir.
And when it starts that, you give us the thick alert, okay? So that
All right.
All right.
I want all of you out there to be able to see what it looks like because it when it gets thick, it kind of changes color and gets a little more translucent.
She could use the spatula now, the wooden one, or no?
She can if she wants, sure.
I'll take that from you, sis.
No, I think I like this.
Brenda?
Oh, you do? All right.
Brenda,
Yes.
where are you going?
Oh, you need me still? Okay.
Hello?
Hey, I'm just trying to be useful.
Here, we're going to make her useful. Here.
Oh, no.
You want to mix your applesauce in with your milk first. And while she's doing that, I will mix the dry ingredients all up like this. And then you can go ahead and pour the dry ingredients into here. I mean, the wet ingredients into the dry ingredients.
Okay. I'm trying to get every bit out here.
Look how easy that is. And you've just got a bowl full of nutrition here.
Okay, so
Okay?
in she goes.
Go ahead and pour it in.
All at once?
Yep.
Here she goes.
There she goes. Sis, if you could put there. Oh, she's ahead of me.
Oh, I knew as soon as you said sis that I better get that
Do you know that's the fun of working together with my sisters? We all been together so much and have worked and played together so much that we kind of read each other's minds almost.
We
you know?
finish each other's sentences.
We do. Sometimes I'll look at Cindy and we just start laughing. We just think at each other's thoughts, you know. And I don't have to say anything, and she knows what I'm thinking, and we start laughing. That's bad, huh?
All three of us will be in the kitchen, and someone else will walk in, and we're just kind of looking at each other laughing, and they'll go, "What was funny?" And then we laugh even more because we never even said anything. We just all think it.
I think this might be a thick alert.
Oh, I need the pan.
Thick alert.
Oh, good. Thick alert. Thick alert. Look, quick. Hurry, look. There.
Is that it?
Can you see how it's changing color? And it gets kind of translucent? That's it.
Is it done now, or do I let it go?
I would let it cook just a touch more because those apples were raw, and we don't want the apples mushy, but we want them crunchy tender.
All right,
tender.
you got it.
Okay, sis, if you could hand me
Do I have to keep stirring
the cooking spray. Nope, you can turn it down on low.
Low, okay.
And we'll put a little bit of spray on this. And then I just drop this batter onto the onto the griddle in 1/3 cups. And you can make them bigger if you want.
That's kind of a nice size.
Mm-hmm. I'm making everything in smaller portions, you know, for my husband and I.
Right.
We're learning, you know, that it's just better and healthier to eat less.
Right.
That's right.
It is. And you'll just kind of wait until the tops get a little bubbly. No, they'll just get a little bit, and then you flip them. I was going to flip them, but it's not quite ready yet. And this one's almost ready.
It's got to set a little bit, but you've got some that's already done.
That's right. And you just you flip them, and then you just serve them with the sauce right over the top. They're delicious. I've already got some already finished for you, and you can sprinkle a little bit of cinnamon on the top if you want, just for garnish.
Doesn't that look good enough to eat?
But I know something else that looks really good enough to eat, and that's your Mexicali breakfast pie.
Oh, let me read the recipe for you. For this, you'll need 1 medium onion, 1 cup of mushrooms diced, 2 tablespoons of bacon bits, 1/2 cup of red sweet pepper diced, 1 14-ounce package of water-packed firm tofu, rinsed and drained, 1 teaspoon of turmeric, 3 cups of potatoes, peeled, cooked, and you will also need 1/2 tablespoon of salt, 1/2 tablespoon of onion powder, 1/2 tablespoon of red pepper flakes, 2 tablespoons of jalapeno peppers, 1 tablespoon of McKay's chicken seasoning, 6 cups of fresh baby spinach. For the pie crust, you will need 1 1/4 cups of flour, 1/2 teaspoon of salt, 1/3 cup of canola oil, 3 tablespoons of almond or soy milk. Now this recipe really, truly, it's good for, it could even be good for an evening meal. I really think of all the possibilities too you could add to this recipe, which will give you lots of options along the way. Yes, or lunch. But we're going to get started. Sis, if you will crank this up.
Oh, crank it up.
And spray with some nonstick cooking spray. Do we have some around here?
We do.
Okay. And I've been using this instead of oil or margarine, and I tell you, I don't even miss the difference. But you know, we're going to need. Let's see, we're going to need to crank that up really high, and we're going to put our onions. We're going to actually saute those till they are clear. And while they are sautéing, I'm going to go ahead and add the chopped mushrooms. Mushrooms get a little bit juicy when they cook up. You know, they can be a little more moist, and so that'll add some moisture in there as well. And I'm going to go ahead and add some jalapenos to that because I want to flavor that really good. You can have them chopped or diced. And I'm adding my seasonings at this point as well because I want to intensify the flavor. So I'm just going to put those bacon chips in there like that. And is that cooked, cranked up as high as it'll go?
I think so.
I don't think so. There we go. See, she's holding on to me over there.
I was looking going,
like,
something's not right there.
yeah, it's not sizzling like it should.
Okay, I got it covered now.
I watch you every minute. And so then I'm going to, so we're going to keep that cooking.
Do I keep stirring?
Well, whenever you feel the need, it looks a little bit dry, so you know what I think you could do is put just a touch more little cooking spray in there.
Okay.
And there you go, move those over there.
And see, folks, that's what you can do at home, too. If yours looks a little dry, just add a little bit of cooking spray.
That's right. And then I haven't put, you know, I'm missing that couple tablespoons of oil or margarine that would normally go in there. So that's good. Now, sis, we're going to go over here, and while she's cooking that, we're going to make, this is like a tofu filling, you know, like a scrambled tofu, almost like a scrambled egg. So it's in place of a normal scrambled egg dish, this is like a scrambled tofu dish is what we're doing. So Cindy, we have a water-packed tofu here that has been rinsed and drained, and I have a paper towel on the bottom of it there, so great. just to capture the moisture. I want to get all that moisture out there.
You want it crumbled?
Just crumble it up like you would for scrambled eggs. And while you're doing that, I'm going to just sprinkle some turmeric and watch the color that this has when you add that turmeric. It's going to give that color of scrambled eggs. And you might look at that and go, well, I don't know, that doesn't look too yellow to me yet. Wait till it hits the heat in the skillet, and it takes on, it intensifies the color, and it turns a beautiful yellow color that resembles scrambled eggs, I think, don't you?
And honestly, I prefer this to scrambled eggs.
I really do.
I just love the flavor of it.
I do
too.
Okay, so now whip that up. That looks good. We're gonna it'll get mashed a little bit more in there.
Let me get a couple more chunks of it.
No, we don't need it.
No?
Nope.
All right.
Nope.
There you go.
Get it in there. And I want it to, the reason why I want it to get flavored with all this wonderful onions and seasonings in here, because tofu will take on the flavor that you give it. So I don't want to miss all that, what's going on in the skillet right now, enhancing this. Now watch too, is if you let it set for a minute and don't turn it yet, let it set, and then when she turns it, you're going to see how that yellow flavor is just coming through. I mean, the yellow color. It's unbelievable. All right, let's see if it's waited long enough. See the difference right here? You can, oh, now, sure, you can see that. See the...
Well, I can see it. I would think they could see it.
That's true. Look when you flip it over and that yellow color starts coming through. And before she's done, it's going to be all nice and beautiful yellow. And while she's doing that, I'm going to go ahead and put the rest of the seasonings in. You know, my McKay's chicken style seasoning, a little bit of salt, get that all flavored in there. And then I'm also going to put in my red bell peppers. And I'm not going to be cooking those till they are really, really, truly done. It's okay to have them not quite so done. And I'm going to go ahead and put the potatoes in there. And
all the dish is starting to look even better. We're adding potatoes.
Yes, that's your favorite.
Just saying.
And as soon as you're getting those in there, while you're doing, sis, I want you to just start adding some of the spinach. Look at that fresh baby spinach, and you're just gonna wilt that. We're only cooking it till it's wilted. So you keep adding that spinach and wilting this down, and I'm going to be making a pie crust over here to get ready for you. Okay?
Okay.
All right. So while she's cooking and doing that, sis, if you would pour the flour and the salt in there. While she's pouring the flour and salt, I'm going to be mixing the soy almond milk. Actually, this is almond milk, not soy milk. I really have stopped using so much soy milk.
Right. I really like the almond milk.
I love it too. So you're just going to whip it with a fork.
Wait a minute. I like it too.
Oh, it's a winner. You got us all three liking almond milk. I too.
You know, my daughter Katie's the one that got me liking it.
Actually, it's Linda that got me liking it. She was like, oh dear. So I want to just tell you something about this flaky pie crust. I know there's a lot of cooks out there that are not comfortable making pie crust. And they just feel like that it's a difficult thing to make, and so they will buy just it already made up in the store. And that's okay if you want to do that. But I want to ask you to be brave and try this recipe. If you follow the directions exactly, it's going to turn out great for you, I promise. You need to spoon your flour into the measuring cup, level it off with a knife, and then your liquid ingredients must be measured exactly in a liquid measuring cup. And when you do that, I never fail with this recipe, but I have to follow directions. I can't just, scoop up what I think is a cup of flour and dump it in.
This isn't a dump cook recipe.
No, it's not.
It's an exact measurement.
It's an exact measurement, yes. So, but you don't have all that Crisco or shortening in here that you normally think of with pie crust. So here we go. We're going to just, actually I need a rubber spatula, which I don't have. So this is going to be a little challenging.
It's okay, you're good. You're up for the challenge.
So you're going to just mix it up. And with the rubber spatula, I would do this part of it and keep scooping the sides up, and it will form a ball, and just like that. And so when it gets to that stage, you're just going to gather it up into a ball, and it will kind of clean the side of the bowl, if you'll see that like that. And this is ready. This is a beautiful pie crust that you can see how I can dent it. It's soft, and it's not hard or tough at all. It will turn into a very nice flaky pie crust. Let's go back over here. Look at this beautiful color here with all the spinach, and we got the peppers going on. Doesn't that look beautiful?
Color your plate like a rainbow. A lot of good nutrition.
Well, here's what you do. Now you are done. Actually, you could serve it right now with some hot homemade biscuits or a toast, and that would be fine just the way it is. If you want to skip this part of it,
should I turn it off?
You can turn it off. It's done. And it's perfect just the way it is. But for something just a little extra special for your brunch, put it in a baking dish, take the pie crust and put it on the top, flute the edges together, and you've got a showstopper. Let me show you one that I've already prepared for you with just a little bitty flour on there. And so many people have asked me why I put that flour by all my signatures. If I've ever signed a book for you, you notice that I've always got a flower by my signatures when I am signing books. And that's because I want to be a flower that blooms for Jesus.
Amen. And you put a smiley
I always put a smiley face because I always want to be happy because I love Jesus and I'm a Christian. So I always put a smiley face.
And Linda.
I put a heart because I want to love like Jesus loves. So I always put a
now
heart.
you
there
know
you
why
go.
we always do that
So
with
when
our
we
signatures.
sign our cookbooks or anything from you, that's what you'll expect from us. Well, something that you're going to be excited about next is Linda's Hawaiian waffles. Sis, can I read the recipe for you?
I'd love it.
Okay, you're going to need 2 cups of whole wheat white flour, 1 tablespoon of baking powder, 1/2 teaspoon of sea salt, 1 cup of crushed pineapple, 1/4 cup of shredded coconut, 1/2 cup of craisins, 2 tablespoons of canola oil, 2 cups of soy milk, 1/4 cup of honey, 1 tablespoon of vanilla, 2 tablespoons of pure maple syrup. For the pineapple sauce, you will need 1 3/4 cups of crushed pineapple with juice, 1/4 cup of pure maple syrup. Boy, that looks good.
Well, I was...
We're going to the islands.
Well, I love pineapple, and as we were creating these recipes, and I was just praying about it, I thought, why don't I do something, Hawaiian? So I thought, I'm going to make some Hawaiian ones with coconut in it, and I did throw some craisins in it. But
I think we need to tell people what craisins are, though, because I'm sure if you are in Africa right now or in Australia that's never seen a craisin before, what is a craisin?
it's a dried cranberry.
Yes, but it resembles a raisin. So
Yeah.
it's a trade name of just to make, they call it craisin is a takeoff on a raisin because it's not a raisin, but it's a dried cranberry.
Kind of a little bit sour.
A little bit
Like
sweet.
a cranberry, yeah.
So
Yep. Well, and also I made these with all whole wheat flour, so to make them healthy.
Healthy.
that's right. Healthy.
So we're going to start out, we can put all the dry ingredients, and Sis, you can put the coconut in, and,
There
okay,
you go.
and I'll put the dried cranberries or craisins, and the aluminum-free baking powder,
Okay.
and a 1/2 teaspoon of salt, and you just stir that all around. Now okay, well, you're doing a good job. Okay, we're going to make like a well in the middle. And Sis, if you could we'll start pouring all the liquid ingredients in. Go ahead and pour the
Okay.
milk in,
Okay.
the
Now,
almond milk,
could you put some nuts in here if you wanted to?
if you wanted to.
I'm kind of nut crazy, so
You are such a nut.
Okay.
I love to me
Nut,
I
that's
could
the
I could see some walnuts in
This
there.
goes in.
Uh-huh. And then we'll put our crushed pineapple in, and our 2 tablespoons of oil.
Okay.
All right, and we're just going to stir this around until it's really blended together. This is a real easy recipe.
Do you think they could be made into pancakes too?
Yeah, they could be made into pancakes.
See that?
And you
Boy,
could
that's
make
a
them ahead of
recipe.
time in waffles and freeze them, right?
That's right.
And then you could just pop them in your toaster.
And I do, and actually made this for a friend of mine. She's 96, she'll be 97 this year. And I take a lot of things over to her, and she's I tell her she's my pillar. She prays for people. She's the most with-it person I've met, Dorothy Cottrell. And I go there every Friday, and we spend a little time together. And last week she said to me, I really like those waffles you brought. She said, those were good. And she can even put them in the freezer. You know, that's the nice part about it. And when you can share something, it makes it even better.
My grandsons, Michael and Jason, they don't think it's breakfast without waffles. They could eat waffles every single day. I mean, there's so many other options. I mean, I love waffles, but every day, I mean, come on.
Well, because you can make so many different kinds of waffles.
This is true.
You know.
Well, Dee was back in our prep kitchen. We all love Dee. And Dee Hildebrand. And she was back in our prep kitchen, and she grabs a bite of the waffle. And I said, oh, Dee, you need topping on it. And she's like, oh, I never have time for topping. I just put it in the toaster and grab the waffle and run to work. And I said, oh, but you've got to try the topping. And she tried the topping, and she was like, ooh, this is really good. So you could do it both ways. You could just grab it and run, and have breakfast to go.
Now, this batter is kind of thin right now, but as it sits, it thickens. So, but we're going to go with it right now. And so spray the top and bottom with some spray.
There you go.
We're going to put like half a cup in here, and I'm just going to kind of push it to the edges.
I'm going to put it around here so they can see.
We're going to put a little bit more because it's a little bit thin. Okay, there you go. Put it down.
Okay.
And it doesn't really take very long to make these waffles. They're really ready pretty fast.
And then for the sauce, what did you do?
Now for the sauce, this is the pineapple sauce right here.
Helping you out.
And all I did was put the pineapple with its juice. I put that in a blender with some pure maple syrup and just whizzed it up, and this goes over the top. And then you just sprinkle it with coconut. You can do extra coconut. You can garnish with strawberries and
pineapple slices.
Yeah, pineapple slices. You know, whatever you like. And you don't want to. It's usually about 3 to 4 minutes, and the waffle.
So good. It's like, come on, I want to try it. It's like, whoa.
You can't rush a waffle.
She's going to eat that thing raw.
You can't rush a waffle.
But we do have some that are already prepared
That's
for
right,
you.
and they're right over here.
And beautifully garnished. Look at that. So it gives you all the ideas. I love how you even topped it off with some sprinkled coconut.
Well, that was our garnish queen, Cinda. She's very good at coming up with stuff to garnish with, and I always
Something
appreciate
else
that.
she's really good at is her Mexican griddle cakes.
Oh. Let me read the recipe for you. For this, you will need 1 cup of yellow cornmeal, 1 cup of flour, 1 teaspoon of salt, 4 teaspoons of baking powder, 1 cup of hot almond or soy milk, 2 tablespoons of agave nectar or sweetener of your choice, 2 cups of frozen sweet corn, 1 4-ounce can of chopped green chilies. I love a little bit savory things for, you know, just to balance that.
I like
that
all
sweet stuff.
savory.
I like sweet too. I'm just going to be honest with you.
If I had to choose, though, between sweet and savory, I would choose savory every time.
Me too.
Well, we know you would.
And I'd go for the sweets. I have a terrible sweet tooth, I admit it. Of course, I don't eat the whole thing. If I'm going to have a piece of pie, I'm going to have a couple bites. I'm not going to eat the whole pie. But I'm sure going to savor those sweet bites.
Are you sure it isn't that you leave a couple bites and you eat the rest?
No, I don't, I promise.
Yeah, I'll vouch for that.
But I sure do enjoy those 2 I get.
These are very simple. And would take your flour, and this is a white whole wheat. You can just use the regular whole wheat if you like. I like the yellow cornmeal.
I do.
I just prefer it.
I don't know that there's even a different flavor to
Maybe
it.
It's in my
mental.
head.
It's mental for me. It's got to be yellow.
Exactly. Maybe it's in my head, but I think that they taste better if it's the yellow cornmeal.
Yes.
Maybe it's that we grew up with that. Our mom used to make cornmeal mush for us. and with the yellow cornmeal.
That's right.
Oh, I loved that.
And
I still do.
Salt.
And after we'd have cornmeal mush for breakfast, then she would pour it into a loaf pan and put it in the refrigerator. And the next day, she would take it and dump. If it falls really out, you just turn it upside down and it'll come out real easily. It's like some molded Jello almost. And she would slice that and fry it for breakfast. And that is delicious with some maple syrup. Ooh, that's good.
I still do that for my husband, and he loves it. Only I put it in the oven now with a little bit of baking spray on it, and he loves it. Okay, mix up your dry ingredients. And sis, if you'll mix up the agave nectar into the hot almond milk.
Okay.
And again, you can use almond or soy, whichever you prefer. And I mix the agave nectar. I like to use the agave nectar, but you could use honey or whatever sugar. You can use whatever sweetener you like. And then put that in the middle. Sis, if you'll put in the corn when they do the liquid, you can put in the corn. Brenda, you can do the green chilies. But go ahead and put the liquid in.
Okay, there you go.
And we'll mix it up. Now you can just go ahead and add that. Now also, which I'm not sure why I didn't do this today, but I always add chopped green. I usually add chopped jalapenos. I'm not really sure why I didn't do that today.
Oh, I think you better add that to the recipe.
I usually do at home.
Some chopped red peppers would be nice in here. Do the sweet red
Sis, if you can turn up the fire.
All right.
And get our skillet, our little griddle pan there nice and hot. And you see, it's a thin batter. It's not that thick. You see, it's just kind of, it's a thin batter. But in fact, I'm going to use this a little to scrape the bottom of it, just to make sure I get it really good and mixed up.
Yeah, I see some dry flour coming up to the top.
Well, I saw that, so I was wanting to get it.
All right.
Okay, spray our pan with a little bit of the non-stick cooking spray. Perfect. And then I drop it by 1/4 cupfuls onto the griddle. Just like that.
You hear that nice sizzle? Yeah.
And then there's several ways that you can eat this. When we're at home, sometimes they don't even make it to put a topping on. We're just eating it like this. But I like to serve it with salsa and some guacamole, fresh avocados, or you could put even pure maple syrup over it. I tend to go to the savory, so I'm going to want the salsa and the avocado over it and some black olives.
They wanted, they could put sour supreme, which is a vegan
tofu,
sour
right,
cream.
right. What you like, and then you see how this is starting to get bubbly, and as soon as it gets it needs to get a little. That one's almost ready. You want
Corners to check.
right. The tops of them, you'll see it's starting to get bubbly, and you'll know when the shine kind of goes off of it, and
it gets a little air bubbles that pop up in there.
See, they're starting. Mm-hmm. And you can just flip that right over.
Ooh, perfect.
Doesn't that look good? And again, I can't believe I forgot the jalapenos. I mean, really? Here's another one. That one I could have waited a little bit longer.
I think if you really wanted to spice it up and kick it up a notch too, put some red pepper flakes in there or some cayenne pepper. That might make a nice
well, you could.
little heat in there.
And I've got, here, sis, this one's hot, nice hot off the grill.
Well, why don't you try it?
Well, I know I like it.
She's our official taster.
It's really good. Hey, one bite?
Go ahead, sis. Come on.
I have some already prepared for you, and let me show you what they look like, how I like to serve them. This is how I like to serve them, and again, serve them the way you like. But you see how fast and easy these are? And again, you can make these up ahead of time, and you can freeze them. And then that way you can just...
put them in your refrigerator the night before and then warm them up when you're ready. So, well, The next recipe is my southern fried green tomatoes.
Oh, I love these.
You will need 2 medium green tomatoes, 1 cup of white whole wheat flour, 1 cup of cornmeal, 1 teaspoon of salt, 1 teaspoon of baking powder, 1/4 teaspoon of cayenne pepper, 1 cup of apple juice, canola oil as needed. Now, I love fried green tomatoes, and I call this a southern dish, and it really truly is known as a southern dish, but I think there's people around the world that have eaten the fried green tomatoes, and there's many different ways to have it. We grew up with Mom preparing fried green tomatoes, and she actually dipped them in a pancake batter, which is delicious, too. There's so many different batters and ways to have them, and sometimes you've seen them just dipped in cornmeal or cracker crumbs or breadcrumbs or some type of breading or pancake batter. There's lots of different ways.
I've had them in pecan meal, too.
Yes, and those are good, too. I just love, there's something about the flavor of fried green tomatoes that is different than a regular tomato. And before you turn your nose up and go, oh, I don't know, fried green, that's like a raw tomato. Really, truly, if you've never had one, try one. In fact, a lot of really gourmet restaurants serve this as an appetizer on their menu.
Right.
So it's a wonderful dish, and you won't believe how easy it is. So let me show you.
All right, let's do it.
First, of course, you got to have a couple of fried green tomatoes. And I get usually about, this is a small, this is all I could find around here, but this is rather small. I like to have them a little bit larger than this.
You needed my husband's garden.
I did. But you're going to just take off this part right here, the center. You're just going to cut that off and make one clean slice where the stem was. Thank you, sis. And just with a serrated knife, you're going to make, you can have them thick or thin. I tend to like mine with a little flesh on them. I don't like them paper thin because I like to enjoy that that part of the tomato in there that's so good.
I do too.
And so
Get them too thin, you can't taste the tomato. All you taste is the breading.
Right. So I think that this is probably a 1/4 of an inch thick that I'm cutting them.
Looks like it.
And this is a small tomato, but usually if you have a regular meat, and look, I'm going to turn for this last one. I'm going to turn and just take my knife and cut this off right here. So I got 4 slices out of this one, but a medium tomato you would probably get, I get an average of 5 to 6 of a nice medium large size tomato. So I'm going to just put those slices like that, and so sis, while you're doing that, you go ahead and finish these for me. We're going to move right over here.
Having sisters, great.
I want you to just, these are all the dry ingredients. We have our whole wheat flour, our cornmeal. I have a little bit of cayenne pepper. And trust me on this one, it really isn't too much. You barely notice. It's just a nice blend. And you're, just all your dry ingredients, just throw in here. And let's just mix that up for you. Okay? And in this bowl, oh, here, she's whipping that together. In this bowl, I have some apple juice. Okay, and you think, apple juice, what's that about? So now let me just, I'm going to test my, I have a little bit of oil in my pan over here, my skillet. Good job, sis. How many did you get? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. She got 6 out of those. See there? Of course, this was a little bit bigger tomato. All right. Now before we go farther, I'm going to just share with you, I've got in my pocket right here, some latex rubber gloves here, and I'm going to put them on, and you'll see why in a minute, because I just love
clean hands.
Clean hands. So I'm going to put this on. This is a gloved hand procedure. So I'm going to test my skillet. I want you to see, I'm going to take a pinch of my flour. Now I want you to come over here and look at the pan, if you would, before I put it in. And in the pan, I'm going to hold it over right here. You can see. Watch this. I'm going to just put, and see that sizzle? That means that my pan is ready. That oil is just hot enough. If it doesn't sizzle, don't put that tomato in there. What that does is then it's just going to soak up all the oil, and you're not going to really, it's not going to be the way you want your, it'll taste greasy. So you don't want that. So nice medium hot skillet. Now, watch this. We're going to take our tomato. I'm going to dip it in the apple juice right here. And this is a trick. I'm going to put it in the flour. I lay it in there and cover it with and pat it down, and both sides. Then I'm going to pick it up, and I'm going to put it back in the apple juice, right here, and back in the pan, and I'm going to cover it again. I try to keep one hand wet and one hand dry so that both hands aren't as messy and it's easier for me to get it in there. Now look at this. I want you to see closely how well breaded that is. If I didn't do it twice, it wouldn't be as nice a thick a breading. So now this is going into the pan. Right here, sis, and you're going to watch that and see how nice sizzle that is. It's perfect, and while we're doing that, I'm going to just get you another one over here that you can have. And
that's a good trick, sis.
Isn't that a good trick? And really and truly, when you're breading something like that, the trick is to
double dip.
Double dip. Well, but even if you're not double dipping, the trick is to lay it down and scoop the flour over the top, pat it down. Instead of, some people will dredge it, they'll go back and forth. And I have found that you don't really, that it doesn't hang on to what you're breading, whether it's you know, eggplant or zucchini or whatever. It will hold it. And if you look at that, look at how nicely that holds its shape.
It does.
And now, sis, let's see, I'm going to take just the edge of the fork here and pierce it and turn it gently. And look at that.
Wow.
Isn't that pretty? And it's nice and coated, just like that. And it's
awesome.
And it doesn't take any time at all. And you can go ahead and fry these up and keep them warm in an oven. But you want to just keep them warm because you don't want to cook these too much. These are not supposed to be mushy inside. So I don't want them to be mushy or get baked or get, you know, that feeling there. That will kind of ruin them. And also, I know we've been sharing a lot of recipes that that we say that you can freeze them ahead or make them ahead. I'm sorry, with this one, you cannot freeze them or make them ahead of time. You cook these right before you're ready to serve them. And that's why I think so many people use them as an appetizer, because it's not something you can make up a ton of ahead of time and have them ready. They just wouldn't taste as well. Also, I tried baking these in the oven, and I'm going to be really honest with you, they were horrible. I did not like them in the oven at all, and I really tried hard to see what I could do to do that. So this is one of those that you're not going to have very often, because I really try to decrease any fried food in my diet. So this is one of those things, you want to be temperate in all things, and this is one of those things on special occasions that you enjoy. But I really don't advocate to have tons of fried food in your diet. This is one of those things, though, I make my calories worth it and count.
Just go for it.
And I
already have
done? Huh? Well, you're going to try it for me? Oh, yes, it is. Okay, I'm going to move this out of the way so you can see her cut through this and see how tender it is. And can I just show them here, sis, that I want them to see inside how nice and green this is. Can you see that? I'm going to hold it still so they can get a good shot of that and see how nice and green inside it is. Okay.
That's so good.
And I love
that. Is really good. I love the green tomato.
It really is wonderful. And I've started using green tomatoes in some of my other recipes just without being fried, but just chopped up green tomatoes I've been including in sauces and in recipes, and you get a wonderful flavor. Something else to have, oh, before I forget, I've already got one ready for you. I want to show it to you right over here. I've just put them on a platter, and they're ready to serve. And I have them served with a little taco sauce. I love the taco sauce drizzled over them. I love that.
I just like a little salt on it.
Yeah, that's good, too. So.
That's good.
Last but not least, Linda has an incredible raspberry apple brunch cake.
Okay, now let me read the recipe for you. You will need 1½ cups of unbleached white flour, 1 4 cups of whole wheat white flour, 1 tablespoon plus 1 teaspoon of baking powder, aluminum free, 1/2 teaspoon of sea salt, 1/2 cup of canola oil, 1/2 cup of pure maple syrup, 2 tablespoons of vanilla, 1 teaspoon of cinnamon, 1 cup of soy milk, 1/2 cup of raspberries, 1 cup of yellow delicious apples, 1/4 cup of pecan pieces. For the maple glaze, you will need 1/4 cup of pure maple syrup, 1 teaspoon of a soy vegan margarine. All right, I think we can get started.
Linda,
I so don't want to interrupt, but I'm hungry. I am hungry.
Cheri!
And I heard, wait. I'm over in the other studio, and I'm trying to work you guys, and these smells are just kind of filtering out over there. And so somebody says, we're going to break for lunch, and they're going somewhere, I don't know where they're going, and I'm thinking, we're going somewhere else to eat when all that food is over there? I am so covered.
You know what? We're going to let you stay and help work because you got the memo. You're dressed like us.
Oh, see, I like that. Have you ever seen me in the kitchen?
Well, you know what?
No. I bet you're the best ever.
No.
But you got good teachers. We'll put you
Okay,
to work.
good,
Yeah,
good.
great.
So what do I do? But I get to eat,
Okay,
right?
Linda, put her to work.
Okay.
right.
Everything that looks dry, put it in here.
All right, so I'm doing it. So the salt.
And the goal is not to get it on your beautiful outfit.
You got to get it all in.
Oh, see?
Yeah, see, our mama always says, never, we get it
That's
down to
okay.
the last drop.
Okay.
Can't waste anything.
Okay, so now, you know what? I've just got to say, I think you guys are some of the finest cooks. And you know what I love about you?
What?
Is you're crazy and you can cook. I love that. How fun is that? All right.
Oh, this is awesome. Wow.
Okay, so do you need to say what's in here? Oh, you already did.
We already read the recipe, then just dump
We're
the dry
putting,
ingredients.
we're putting
go
the
ahead and guess if
flowers
you want.
in, and
know.
This is
then you
flour.
stir
We
it up.
should tell her what she's cooking.
What are we cooking?
We are making one of
sauerkraut soup.
I would have never guessed that.
I wouldn't have either. This is called raspberry apple brunch cake.
So I came on the right day.
Yes, we're making
Oh,
Sunday
yes.
brunch
Yeah.
today.
Okay, we're gonna throw
That is so-
No, that's on the top.
Am I doing
Okay.
something over here, sis?
Okay, over where Brenda is, while you're stirring that all together and getting the salt and the baking
I'm
powder,
heating this up.
you put the maple syrup in, Brenda, and
Okay.
the vegan margarine, and
Okay.
just stir it until it turns color and it just starts to get a little teeny bit
All
thick.
right.
Okay?
How fun.
And
Isn't
see,
that awesome
I
that
want you to
Cheri
do
dropped
some
by
I have
today?
always dreamt of being on a program with you guys.
Really?
How
Oh,
Oh, this is so awesome.
And I even feel like a cook.
yeah.
You are
Well,
a
there
cook.
you are.
You are a cook. Anybody can cook, and that's just the truth of it.
We're
That's
just going
right.
to start calling you Betty from now on.
Oh,
Betty
sorry.
Crocker.
And you know what? Mama says you can't mess up a recipe.
That's
You
right.
only create a new one.
That's right.
And you guys have cooked forever.
Yeah.
So now make a well in the middle, just
right.
a little hole.
Yeah.
Okay. Make a little hole, and in that hole, we're going to put right here.
I
We've
love
got
that.
this. Yeah, we've got soy milk and some oil,
Uh-huh.
and then we're going to put
I thought that was an incredible looking well. Didn't you like that?
Yes, I did. I thought
maple syrup, and you
Very
can
well
spread that
done.
out.
I love that.
very
Okay.
well done.
Okay, just try to see if you can get a little more out, and then
I'd say no pun intended, but it was.
It was, all right.
okay, and then we've got some honey
God.
going on here,
No, yum.
so you can see if you can get the rest of the honey out.
See, Cheri, and now you know why on Tiny Tots I always tell them, whenever you can be in the kitchen, cooking is fun.
You know what's really funny is I watched that Tiny Tots show with you guys and cooking with those kids, and they are really going to have confidence in the kitchen from early on because
Yes,
a lot of us
right,
don't have that confidence.
Right, just
This-
stir
is
that
this
all up.
good?
No, a little bit more. It's
Okay.
just got to get a little bit thicker. Stir that
Okay.
all up.
You're rushing it over there.
I just don't want to
Tell you
ruin it.
what.
I'll lose my
Okay.
confidence.
And I'll be right
That's
back.
my
I'm
job.
just going to get a pan.
That is too funny.
I know you're always traveling, Cheri. Do you have a time to cook
Okay.
ever?
I do, but I follow your cookbooks to the letter.
Do you?
Yes. So I'm not like the kind of cook that
Excuse me,
can come in and
sweetie?
just taste
I gotta
it.
get the
I have to have a recipe.
Oh.
I do oatmeal for like 10 years, and I follow the recipe still.
Okay, I'm going to spray this over here so nobody's...
okay.
There we go. All right, now that it's all mixed up, just give it a few...
Yeah, really.
Come on, Cheri. Come on. You
I
can
got
do it.
Okay, and then just put it in here and we'll spread it around.
Cool.
Oh, and if
should've-
you want one of
That's
these,
what
we got
you
it.
need. I'll hold this and...
Take
I'll
this
take
one
that.
out.
Whoops.
All right. Oops.
I don't want to spread syrup everywhere here.
That's right.
Well, that syrup smells amazing.
It really does. Is this all?
That's good.
That's good. Oh, I
And
love
then
that word.
that
It's
is
good.
for after it's baked.
Okay.
So do I just...
And then Mama's watching, so we
Oh,
got to get
'cause-
it all out.
Your mama's serious.
Oh, she's very serious.
She never wastes anything.
No.
And she watches the shows, so she'll tell us, she goes, I saw
I'll be
that.
good. I'll be good. All right.
Mama, we're training her in now. Okay.
Everybody that knows me is going to laugh that I'm on a cooking show. When the smoke detector goes off in our house, everybody knows it's time to eat.
Oh.
So.
Okay, now what we do is I'll give you some of these and apples, and you're just going to lay them all the way down. Just lay the apples.
All the way down?
Mm-hmm, all the way down.
There. And
Okay.
just
Oh, no, not that way.
Really?
No.
Oh, I knew it. I knew we were gonna... I'm like, all right, I could change all. That looks amazing.
Well, sis, because we're almost out of time.
Well, we got to
Oh, wait a minute.
let's put a few.
we got to have a taste right
All
here.
right,
'cause-
I'll finish this up while you get to taste.
Because I
Yes.
so came in to taste.
Yeah,
Look at
exactly.
That looks.
All right, I'm going to scoot over, and Cinda can
right.
cut you a little
I'm
piece
gonna
while I
cut
finish
you
it up.
A piece.
Look at that. Oh, my goodness.
Now, usually, I'm the one that gets to taste these, but we're going to let you today take my place. How's that?
I like that. And the rest, we can eat the rest as soon as we're done, though, right?
Oh, yes.
Oh,
yes.
yes.
And we have fried green tomatoes, and we have.
There you go.
Let's see.
All right, here it is. Drum roll, please.
This is amazing. It's amazing. You know, I am so glad I came over. I'm telling you, it smells wonderful, the entire studio.
Well, thank you so much for coming. Isn't that awesome? Cheri stopped by. Well, right now, my sisters and I have several cookbooks out, and we'd like to share with you how you can get them. Also, if you would like us to come to your area to speak or to sing or give concerts or to do a cooking demo, here is how you can contact us.
If you've enjoyed the recipes you've seen today and would like to purchase your own copy of their cookbooks, including their new cookbook, Soups, Salads, and Sandwiches, you can write to 3ABN, Post Office Box 220, West Frankfort, Illinois 62896. That's 3ABN, Post Office Box 220, West Frankfort, Illinois 62896. You can call 618-627-4651. That's 618-627-4651. Or if you'd like to contact the Micheff sisters for speaking appointments or concerts, you can do so at their website at micheffsisters.com. That's MICHEFF sisters.com. Contact them today. They'd love to hear from you.
Hello, I'm Molly Steenson, and we here at 3ABN are thrilled to use the latest technology to reach our ever-increasing world audience. I remember when 3ABN first began broadcasting on satellite television in 1986. We were thrilled then as well to reach thousands of home satellite dish owners across the United States. And before the first program was over, the calls began coming in. It was also exciting to see the Lord opening doors for new television downlink stations that greatly increased our viewership. Then came the wonderful day when we began broadcasting across the ocean to audiences in Europe, South America, and finally to the whole world. And as God made this possible, we added a new radio network and more television channels to our ministry. Today, in addition to making 3ABN, 3ABN Latino, 3ABN Proclaim, and 3ABN Radio available on satellite, you can watch all 6 of our television channels and listen to 3ABN Radio over the internet. To watch, just visit 3abn.org and click the Watch Now button to select a television channel. In addition to our English broadcast, you can watch Spanish and Portuguese language programs on 3ABN Latino. For those who enjoy preaching and teaching, we have 3ABN's Proclaim channel offering 24-hour Christ-centered programming. Children will love watching the Sunbeam channel with programs like Kids Time, Janice's Attic, and Grandma's House. And our brand new Dare to Dream Urban channel offers practical Christ-centered programs emphasizing a healthy lifestyle, drug addiction recovery, marriage enrichment, and much more. And last but not least, millions who speak Russian can now enjoy our 3ABN Russian channel programs, developed and produced by our talented studio workers in Nizhny Novgorod, Russia. Our 3ABN radio network is available from our website as well at 3abnradio.org. Check out all the ways to listen on your computer or listen to us anywhere on your smartphone through our MP3 and 3G mobile phone streams. If you're one of the many precious people who have blessed us with your faithful prayers and financial support, I say thank you. And if you haven't, won't you ask the Lord what He would have you do to support 3ABN's ministry? And if the Holy Spirit impresses you, please send your tax-deductible gifts to 3ABN, Post Office Box 220, West Frankfort, Illinois, 62896. And thank you from the bottom of our hearts for all that you do to further the cause of Christ.
Wow, what a fun surprise to a fun program. We're so glad you came.
And I'm no longer hungry.
So how was the cake?
Amazing.
Well,
Look
you
at all
know
this
what?
others.
I think that we should show Cheri what we have prepared for
That's
for
right.
the program.
That's
Or
right.
for my lunch.
This
Yeah,
is
for your
the
lunch.
Mexicali breakfast pie.
Oh, Cheri,
With
that's so good.
scrambled tofu inside. And then southern fried green tomatoes.
Oh, and my Mexican corn griddle cakes.
And we
yeah.
have Hawaiian waffles.
And those are delicious.
That's right, with coconut in it.
And
the
pineapple sauce.
That's right.
Oh, and these are my oat apple pancakes with apple sauce.
They are good. And last but not least,
Raspberry
Which
apple
you're
brunch
already
cake.
sampling.
It looks amazing. Unbelievable.
I think she should sample one more thing, though, real quick. One of your, there. Go. Okay.
Go for it.
So this is just my lunch.
This is it. You go. It's your brunch.
That's right, dig in.
All right.
That's all the time we have for now. But until next time, may all
your meals be seasoned with God's love. Bye-bye, everybody.
Bye.